Hey guys, and welcome back to the Superman Collector's Vlog. Today, I'm going to ask that you have breakfast with me and pull up a chair, grab a seat, and pour yourself a bowl of cereal as we explore the various Superman cereal premiums of the 1950s. So one of the more important and maybe the rarest piece I have to show you today is actually a store display. So this is an original 1950s Superman hanging store display for Kellogg's Corn Flakes. So I have it kind of mounted to some cardboard on the back to kind of help protect it and stabilize it, but this is double-sided, so it would hang from this punch hole right here off the ceiling in a store and advertise the cereal. Of course, Superman had partnerships with several cereals, Kellogg's being the biggest. But this piece here is extremely rare. There's thought to be less than 5 of these in existence. This one has had a little restoration, but to have anything that advertises the cereal is just really, really cool. The oldest partnerships with Superman in cereal brands were Kellogg's Pep. And so Superman made an appearance a couple places on these boxes. So in many of these boxes, they would first advertise here the Kellogg's Pep Pins, which we'll show here in a minute. But then additionally, on the back of these cereal boxes would feature a single panel Superman comic book strip. So you can see there Superman and the Pirates, Superman battles the dive-bombing bandits. But really cool stuff. So as a kid, you could read the comic books on the back and collect the premium inside. Now, it's important to note that the Pep Pins weren't just Superman. There was over 100 comic book characters, but Superman was the only superhero of the bunch. And of course, here are numerous versions of that Kellogg's Pep Pin included in the Superman cereal boxes. And right here is actually a very rare example of a Pep Pin still sealed in the packaging. So that's exactly as you would find it there in the cereal box. And for some reason, this is one of those collectibles you can get pretty cheap, so I just like to hoard them. So I've collected numerous versions for my own collection. Another premium here included on boxes of Kellogg's Corn Flakes was the Superman Dangle Dandy. So you can see the front, or that's the back side of the box there, where you would cut that out. And then the front side of this box kind of shows you how Dangle Dandies would work. But you would hang them from the ceiling, and they could provide a neat little wall decoration. Here's a box of Kellogg's Sugar Pops that advertises the Superman flying rockets. But it's important to note that this could be advertised on other cereal boxes as well. And there's another of those cereal boxes advertising the rockets. And here's the rockets themselves. So these water rockets, you would fill up this pump the rocket, shoot it off into the air. But you can see I have one with the original mailer box, one with the original paperwork inside, and then of course the Superman rocket itself is listed as a Krypton rocket there. This actually would later be sold as a box set on its own, but this was the mail-away version found in the cereal boxes. This box of Kellogg's Corn Flakes came with the Superman Premium Superman's Space Satellites, which are featured right over here. So another example with the original mailer box. This little space satellite launcher gun, which had Superman written on the side, would launch these discs into the air. It came with this little paper pamphlet here, which is also included in my example, and just a really cool piece. This is another fun premium found on boxes of Kellogg's Corn Flakes. The Flying Superman was a very small, cheap plastic toy that could be launched through the air using a rubber band launcher, and you would have your very own Flying Superman. Again, what's interesting is a much larger, heftier version of this toy was produced to be sold individually later in the decade, but this was the first version as released as a cereal premium. This awesome box of Kellogg's Frosted Flakes features Superman stereo picks. So these stereo picks would be found on the back of boxes. Let me turn this around and show you. But they would be 3-dimensional panoramic pictures. So here is an example of one there. And what's interesting is Superman is on kind of that first pot there, but not on the background. But you would take this, cut it out, and kind of put it, and it would kind of pop from the background. Now, there's multiple variations of these. This is the one I have. But what's really cool about this is this box is actually still full of Frosted Flakes. So you're talking 70-year-old Frosted Flakes here in the collection. And they're not complete dust yet, which is kind of cool. Unfortunately, one of the worst condition boxes in my collection, this Corn Flakes box, advertises the Superman belt. which is a really cool plastic belt here made for children that can be found in this cereal box. Some other great cereal premiums included these mini comic books that were done in a whole different format and style, but there's several different varieties. I have 2 here in my collection. And this awesome Kelloggs Pep Blotter is another early advertising piece for the Superman connection with Kellogg cereal. Now, some other things I like to display on this shelf because it fits the theme of breakfast is in the 1960s, All-Star Dairy had a partnership with Superman. So you can see there I've got the vitamin D homogenized milk carton, the chocolate milk carton up here, and then on the other side of the case, we've got some smaller milk cartons as well. But I'm saying what goes better than cereal with milk? And I also included some 1960s cups and bowls as well to go along and finish out the breakfast theme of this shelf. So really cool. Hopefully you enjoyed having breakfast with me today. Remember to subscribe to this channel to see all kinds of awesome Superman collectibles, Superman news, and just fun Superman related content.